And so I think even using that little prayer of before we ever post anything or react, just saying, Jesus, I release everyone and everything to you.
Yeah.
What is my part in this?
Yes.
And I know he calls us first and always to love.
Welcome to More Than Small Talk. We're Susie Eller,
Jennifer Watson,
and Holly Girth, writers and real life friends. We're inviting you to go deeper, become freer, and feel more connected.
So imagine you have a cup of coffee, a mug of tea, or a green smoothie in your hand,
and we're all hanging out in your favorite place together.
Hey, More Than Small Talk friends. We're so glad you're with us again. Last episode, we talked about changing the way you talk to yourself. And this week, we want to talk about changing the way we talk about others.
Oh, okay.
So, here we go.
Here we go. Here's our confession question. What do you hope people feel in your presence?
I want them to always feel loved, accepted, and safe.
Okay.
Like those.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they feel that, then I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, mine are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Mine would be they feel beloved. No shocker there.
Yeah.
No shocker.
That they feel safe.
You need a t-shirt that says beloved. I'd buy it.
Yes.
We'll get a tattoo.
I may have to get my tattoo.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And I don't know the exact way to explain it, but drawn deeper into who God has created them to be.
Oh, I like that.
That they don't walk away thinking, I need to be more like Holly, or I need to be more like this or that, but encouraged to be more of who they are.
Yeah. I want people to feel seen for who they are, not who I want them to be, but who they really are. And we were talking just before we went on air, and I just got back from hiking for a few days in the Appalachians. I was the oldest person in the group that was going, but I stayed in the mid-pack, so I held my own.
Yeah.
But a lot of people begin to share their stories. There's something about sheer exhaustion.
Yeah.
And sitting around at the end of the day with good soup and a warm fire that just drops all of the filters, and people begin to kind of share their story. And so many of the times when we see people, we assign them a story before we know their story. And as these women begin to share their stories, I was really astounded at the depths of overcoming that so many of these women had walked through. And as they were sharing their story, I really saw them. I saw the little girl they once were that wasn't nurtured like they should have been. I saw the one who went through a hard marriage and came out on the other side in an even harder place. I saw a woman who was sassy and funny, and I liked her so much. But also, as she shared her story, I saw that she had been, she had not only had to fight for herself, but how she had fought for those she loved. And it really changed everything. So I want them to be seen, but I think seeing them means that I have to actually know where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one reason we wanted to do this is because, especially on social media, the way we talk about others right now feels heartbreaking, I guess.
It is heartbreaking.
The best word for it.
Yeah.
And so how do we talked about talking with more gentleness and compassion to ourselves, but I think that is the starting place of being able to do the same for others.
Yeah.
So first of all, what is going on? Like, what is, what are we in the midst of as humanity, where it just seems like being unkind to each other has become common. It's never been absent, but it feels like it's become a lot more common. It's out. Yes.
It's out in the open.
That's true. You're not talking about people behind their back.
And you're not thinking it privately, or you're not talking to it around the water cooler or your best buddies. It is out in the open.
Yeah.
And it is harsh.
Yeah.
Harsh and it's loud.
It's
and
so loud.
It's so loud. I think that's, yeah, it doesn't feel like a safe zone, you know?
Mm.
I know a lot of people are coming out of trauma and trying to heal from trauma, and you go on social media and you're like, oof, like I feel worse seeing people pick sides or group people together. It's so ugly.
It is ugly. And if we're honest, it is damaging on a level that feels almost catastrophic to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to walk in fear. I'm not going to wring my hands around the world. I believe that Jesus came for the world. I believe that we have tools and prayer and action that we can live and do. I believe that with my whole heart. So I'm not going to go get in a cave and bring all my beef jerky in there so I'm never come out. But I also believe that we need to be honest about it and say exactly the words that we're saying is, number one, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And number two, there is a cost associated with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's an example that set out that said that we can degenerate an entire group of people and call them other, or that we can slip into somebody's DMs or into a conversation and come at it with such harshness. And one thing that I have done, I'm getting so good at hiding people on social media. If that is the direction they're going, I'm just like, we don't get to engage anymore. Like, I really like you.
Yeah.
But somehow you've bought into that this is okay. So you can't be in my circle. And my circle includes social media because they're speaking into my life or over my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we approach this with a posture of curiosity for a moment, like what are people trying to accomplish? Like when I look at it, I see a whole lot of fight or flight. To even angry people, I'm like, wow, you are really scared right now.
Yeah.
And so what are we as humanity, and I say we, it's not all of us, of course, but like what do we feel like this is accomplishing? Or some people even seem like they feel compelled to do it because what they're saying is the right thing to be saying.
Yes.
And other people are wrong. And therefore, if they're not just very harsh about it, then somehow they are not doing their duty.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think? Like, what makes this make sense? What are we trying to accomplish, even if we're doing it in a way that is really unhelpful? Because I think we have to understand that, and then we can say, here's a better way to go about that.
I wish I knew the answer to that, Holly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I do. Sometimes I see fear.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see, but I also see that we have forgotten what it's like to be on the other side of us, that we don't realize. Like, it's like everybody's doing it. Have you ever heard that? Or somebody that I respect or is in power or is somebody that I've known a long time, they do it. And so it must be okay. So I don't fully know the answer to that. I just know that I have to look at my own heart and say, what is it like to be on the other side of Susie Eller? And how am I going to talk to other people? We all are authors and speakers and communicators. And there's a door that's been opened. And I don't know if you guys get this, but, I talk a lot about immigration and refugees because it's my heart. That's where I'm at. And I get some DMs that are vile. Vile. And I have to ask that question instead of saying, what's it like to be on the other side of them? I have to ask myself, what's it going to be like for them to be on the other side of me? How am I going to respond to this? And sometimes I know the people and I'll come back and just say, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. How's your son? How's he doing? How's your family? Before we begin this debate or name calling or how are you doing? I want them to know I see you. I see you right now. And if it's somebody I don't know, I might just say something like, I know that we don't see eye to eye on this, but thank you for sharing your thoughts. And then I let it go. I don't know the answer, Holly.
What do you think, Jennifer?
I feel like there's so many people that just they want to prove that they're right. And so I'm seeing a lot of that. Like, how much does that matter that people agree, or that you have to be in the place where that you're just right all the time? I don't know. It just feels like if you don't believe what the loud ones say or ascribe to, that, that you're wrong. And so it's very us against them. And I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, friends. I hope you're enjoying our conversation. I wanted to share with you about my new book, What If You're Doing Better Than You Think? Finding Courage and Confidence When Life is Messy. Because sometimes when we're working with other people and just through life, it's often very messy. So I hope that you'll find the encouragement in the pages. Now back to our conversation.
And I remember learning that anger is a secondary emotion, that fear is underneath it,
Yeah.
or
It
frustration.
makes sense.
And even I think about Jesus being crucified, ultimately that was more out of fear than hate, because the Pharisees thought, we're going to lose our position. Rome's going to take over. Like, he's blaspheming God. Like, he's a bad person. We need to remove him from this equation. And so I think anytime we feel ourselves going into anger toward especially a group of people, we need to pause and ask, like, what am I afraid of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And is it my responsibility even to be taking this on? Like, we talked with Richard Eller recently about releasing control.
Yeah.
And so I think even using that little prayer of, before we ever post anything or react, just saying, Jesus, I release everyone and everything to you.
Yeah.
What is my part in this?
Yes.
And I know he calls us first and always to love.
Yeah.
First and always, that's how people will know we're his, that we love each other, and that we see each other first and foremost as beloved, even if we're very different.
Right.
So I think it's reorienting ourselves from fear to love. It's interesting. The Bible puts those as opposites. It doesn't put hate and love as opposites.
Right.
It puts fear and love.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 John says, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think pausing and saying, we need to place our fear and anger in the hands of the one who can handle them, instead of handing them off to each other, especially on social media.
Well, and I also think as I'm looking at social media, and this is where so much of it shows up, it's also showing up in stores, at gas stations, in communities. It's spilling over. But as I look at that, sometimes what I see, and I'm going to look at Susie's own heart here. I'm not going to talk about anybody else. But when we jump in and our words are harsh and sometimes we just want to win.
Yeah.
And that's the being right. And I have to ask myself, if somebody is dropping a DM or jumping into a conversation where I'm talking about ways that we can help individuals that are vulnerable, and they start dropping all of these things that are so harsh.
Yeah.
Father, first of all, they're beloved to you. You've taught me that, Holly. Thank you for that. And I knew it, but I just needed to be reminded. They're beloved to you. And right now they want to win this argument. How bad do I want to win it? I really don't. So how can I meet them and just say, I see you, I hear you. And sometimes that's hitting the delete key or the hide key, and just because if somebody really is there just to poke and debate, and we get the opportunity to engage or not. But there's other times that I'll just gently share my heart or thoughts, thank them for their thoughts, and move on. And I think that's part of it, is how bad do we want to win?
Yeah. Reminds me of that verse in Proverbs that says, a soft answer turns away wrath.
Yeah.
How can we diffuse instead of throw more on the fire?
Right. And wanting to hear, there are times that I just know that this is going to be a conversation to nowhere and nobody's going to win. It's actually just going to be awful. And that's when the hide or delete or whatever. Only had to block a couple of times because it just got so yuck. But for the most part, there is a concern on that other side that is turned into fear, which is turned into anger. And I've said something about the vulnerable that have made them feel that I was attacking them. And so now they're, coming back, pushing back. Can I really hear them and hear what they're saying and address them as somebody who has valid thoughts, even if we disagree? It's not easy.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to learn.
Really to validating personhood, because I think really this is about dehumanizing people.
Yeah.
100%.
And there is a continuum of that. And the extreme of that is extremely scary.
It is.
So I think always saying like, okay, in the face of dehumanizing, how can I validate someone's humanity? How can I return back to that God-given identity of belovedness? How can I speak life into this space?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think, Jennifer? You were in church leadership for a long time. And so what do you think?
I don't know. Like you have to just like pull back and ask yourself, do I care more about being right than I care about being loving? And so I think it comes to asking yourselves some really big questions, but then even just having honest conversations, just, hey, how you're talking about that makes me sad. It makes me feel unsafe. And like, what is going on about that? Because there is so much pushback, but I don't know. It's just really hard because I think that we're all grappling with that and trying to figure it out. And I don't feel like we have any really good answers yet.
But I think it's really important.
It's really important.
So important right now. When I see the harshness and the cruelty is not a fruit of the Spirit.
It's not.
It's not a fruit of the Spirit. So when I see cruelty and it be celebrated and sometimes tangled with our faith, it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I also realize in that moment that I am not big enough to fix it.
No. Yeah.
So again, I have to ask that same question. What is it like to be on the other side of Susie Eller right now?
Yeah.
And it's usually one person at a time. And sometimes it's my words on social media. And it's the battles that I choose. Not every battle is mine.
Yeah.
I'd be so exhausted. I'd be so cynical. But it doesn't mean I don't play a part, because I do.
Yeah. I think it just breaks my heart because of how many people feel unsafe.
Because they are unsafe.
Yeah. And so I think it's hard to even put that into words, but to watch a community, people feel unsafe in places where we say that they should be and they're not. That's devastating. And we don't know what to do about it, but it's just like loving people well who are in front of us. But yeah, it's just devastating to know how unsafe people feel.
Yeah. And even the biblical word for righteousness, it's not about getting it right or being right. It's about right relationship with God, others, and yourself. That is the alignment that God wants from us. So even that, to be like, righteousness is not being right, doing the right thing, convincing other people that we are right. It is being in right relationship, even with people we disagree with.
Yeah.
Which can be incredibly difficult. But that is the great work of God, to reconcile all relationships with Him in the center of that. And so I think that remembering we are in the grand vision of a reconciliation and restoration that began with Eden and is going to continue forever. And so our role is to do that through our relationships rather than defending a position or winning an argument. Like Jesus he wanted to win hearts, not arguments. And God doesn't need us to defend Him. Like He's God.
Yeah.
What He has asked, what He has said, this is what you can do for me. You can love each other. That's it. Like, love each other. And let people be wrong.
Yeah.
I remember one time in an episode, we talked about like, who's wrong? All of us.
Yeah.
Like in some way, somehow we are all wrong.
Absolutely.
So trying to make sure everyone is right about everything is a no. That's the no-win game.
Yeah.
But if we can help each other feel loved and experience the love of God, then we are participating in what he has called us to.
I read the other day, actually in my own book, I went back, I'm reading Come With Me again because I just need to. And one of the things that I really sensed the Lord saying as I was writing that book is the heart of the gospel is not about collecting power. It's not about collecting accolades. It's not about collecting anything else but people. The heart of the gospel is collecting people. That's what Jesus did. I mean, he walked and he would collect people along the way. They just continued to amass. And then they in turn would turn around and begin collecting people. And it was a beautiful thing to unfold. Were those people perfect? No. Were there controversies? Absolutely. But he just kept collecting people and instructing them to do the same. So that's another question that I can ask myself. When I feel the need to win with my words, what am I really winning? Or am I given the opportunity to collect a person that we can walk together along the way to Jesus? That's the heart of the gospel.
Yeah.
And that's it for today's episode. Thanks for going deeper, becoming freer, and connecting with us. More Than Small Talk is a part of the KLRC Podcast Network and is produced by Kara Culver. Show notes and resources are available on the More Than Small Talk page on klrc.com. You can also join us in our Facebook group. Subscribe to More Than Small Talk on your favorite app so you won't ever miss an episode.